It is my pleasure to welcome Joachim Moore here to tell us more about the upcoming play, the Inner Circle Arts Society MedgerX'nJames, coming to the Palm Springs Cultural Center. Welcome, how are you?
Thank you, I'm good. How about yourself?
Good, thank you. Can you tell us more about this play that's coming to the theater?
Yes, so MedgerX'nJames, it highlights the lives of Medgar Evers, Malcolm X, and James Baldwin. Three great characters that helped kind of move the civil rights movement during the Jim Crow era in the 1950s and the 1960s. These are three pivotal guys that affected America in their own way, either through oratory or just by originally leading just multiple crowds. And so it's actually paralleled in this performance where Medgar Evers is a dramatized performance. Jimmy Baldwin is more of a oratory feel, and Malcolm X is the same. And so this piece shows different ways in which they would have talked in their time to the multitude of people. But it also highlights the change that we need in our society today. The cool part about history is that, unfortunately, not a lot of people listen, and so we have to reiterate these things a lot. We have to push the envelope, and we have to get people to think about all the things that happen in this society and how we can change it. And so that's what this play brings to Palm Springs, and we're happy to do it. We're happy to have our world premiere here. So
that's awesome.
Thank you.
And you kind of spoke to it a little bit, but can you go into more detail about why this play is important right now for people to see?
Yeah, so just going even further back towards 2020, during that year we realized that our art could be more influential if we used characters that people could gravitate towards, people could understand. But while doing that, we could push the message of social change. And that's what we started in 2020. And so from 2020 now, we've looked at characters that help people understand the differences in our society and how to appreciate those differences. We're excited because this upcoming year we'll be highlighting people like Medgar Evers and James Baldwin, but also, and Malcolm X, but also people like Marsha P. Johnson, and also people like Jimi Hendrix and Jim Morrison, and all these other people that people are familiar with, the bullet points, but not really in depth about their life. And so we can tell their stories and use those stories to change people's lives. And so that's what we're all about.
Nice. Well, can you give me a little bit of a snippet from the play? Do you have a favorite particular moment that you're excited for people to see?
I'm excited more so for Medgar Evers. A lot of people know the basis of Malcolm X and James Baldwin. Not too many people are familiar with Medgar Evers. I know my family, with my mom being born in Greenwood, Mississippi. I know that there's some tie into what she knows about Medgar Evers. And so I'm really excited to introduce that character to the rest of the world, because a lot of people just know him to be just kind of a civil rights activist, but not too many people know what got him to be a civil rights activist. Why did he pivot in that direction after World War II? Because he was a World War II veteran as well. And so when he came back from Normandy, he realized that he could change a lot in his own society, that being Jackson, Mississippi. And so it's a story that not a lot of people are familiar with. And so we selectively choose people that are not familiar to people so that we can introduce them and give them the story that they need to hear.
Yeah, that's awesome. I wasn't aware either, so that's a really cool story that you're sharing. And it's a part of a larger effort on behalf of your team to lengthen, or I guess streamline, the narratives that you're sharing next year during Black History Month. Can you go into that as well?
Yeah. So this is actually the one installment of two other different plays. So MedgerX'nJames, and then we have another one called Birds Flying High that talks about the life of Nina Simone, which is going to be kind of cool. And then we also have another play called A Sacred Obligation, and that talks about the life of abolitionist John Brown and his moments in jail leading up to his execution and what he stood for. And these are moments in society that again, not a lot of people are prevalent to. I wasn't prevalent to. They didn't teach me that in grade school. These are a lot of the things that I had to dig up on my own, and then I had a great time doing, actually. And so in college, I studied a good bit of history. And so when you combine history with theatrical studies, then you can show a lot of people just the mood and the way these people thought at that time, which kind of helps just in what we do today, because history repeats itself, and unfortunately that's why we're having some of the same problems that we're having in society.
Exactly. So. Well, certainly excited to see that. Where can people find ticket information and just more information about the plays?
Yeah, so all of our works, both theatrically and independent film-wise, will be done at the Palm Springs Cultural Center. They've been great. It's a wonderful place to watch many different performances, but they've taken it upon themselves to trust us with our art and to put it on their stage. And so the Palm Springs Cultural Center in Palm Springs, right next to the high school there, they've been awesome and also a catalyst for change, so you can definitely see some of that stuff there. So.
Awesome, great. Well, thank you so much for your time today. I can speak for pretty much anybody listening. It sounds like a great play, and I'm excited to see it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thanks for your time.